Mayor Jim Fouts delivers his much-anticipated State of the City address.
The mayor appoints an executive administrator to tackle the deficit. We'll tell you who he is and what experience he brings to the table.
And two parents facing felony charges for leaving their child at Caesarland. We'll have the story.
Over 450 people packed the banquet hall at Andiamo's in Warren to hear Mayor Jim Fouts deliver his much-anticipated State of the City address. Hello, everyone. I'm Lori Erla.
And I'm Enver Shaflo. From past accomplishments to future goals, he covered it all. Megan O'Brien has the highlights on this week's top story.
Some steps the city will take to thwart off financial woes are government salary cuts and sharing city services with other communities. One proposal is Warren and the City of Centerline combine police and fire departments. Mayor Fouts has also had talks with Roseville and East Point over department mergers as well. If the employee unions agree to salary cuts, then there will be no layoffs, including cutting his own salary. Another accomplishment, the city has maintained a solid fund balance.
We were able to increase our fund balance at midpoint because of the following things: city employees working together to cut down on overtime and come up with new ideas to save money, administrators doing the same thing, and I have many departments who I believe are going to come back with significant reductions in spending. And by the way, just for the record, the City of Warren has the strongest fund balance in the state of Michigan of any major city, and I dare say almost any city. We are number one. We have a 25% fund balance.
Fouts also mentioned EMS transport is back.
We have brought back the EMS transport thanks to the hard work of Skip McAdams, my fire commissioner, and city staff, and Ray Riggs of SimCog.
Another accomplishment, crime is down in Warren.
Crime. Commissioner Dwyer often says crime is down. Crime is down 22% in the first 6 months of 2009. We already have great decreases in the first couple of months of this year. Now, the second part of the 2009 statistics won't be out until June, but I anticipate more down.
Mayor Fouts is also pursuing a possible class action lawsuit against DTE Energy to contest $2 million in annual charges to maintain the city's 11,000 streetlights. Also, the business Oshkosh was recently awarded a $3 million contract for the U.S. Army at the TACOM complex. Numerous defense jobs will be created by Oshkosh. They plan to invest approximately $7 million at the arsenal. Warren residents were happy with his State of the City address.
And I liked the mayor's speech. It was very upbeat, but it was still interesting in the money that he's saving just by cutting out overtime, which was a nice, pleasant surprise, and was a very positive speech. I liked it, I enjoyed it, and I enjoyed the meal, the company, and everything else.
Well, it was surprising, given the state of the economy, that Warren has so many positives going for it, and I'm glad the mayor alluded to that. The speech started out, a little bit dour, but he came across as succinct and from the heart, and I give him credit for that, and I really think that there's some real positives coming into play for Warren.
Warren is the new Warren. We're not the old Warren where we have Fortress Warren at 8 Mile Road. We don't think in those terms. We are an inclusive city rather than an exclusive city. We want people to move into Warren from Detroit, from Hazel Park, from Madison Heights, from Troy, Bloomfield, Grosse Pointe, you name it.
The mayor has high hopes for the future of Warren. Megan O'Brien, TV Warren News.
Mayor Fouts also announced during his speech a new appointment to his administration. Louis Schimmel will serve as Fouts' executive administrator to help tackle the city's deficit that could hit $10 million this year and erase dozens of jobs and services. Schimmel previously served as Hamtramck's emergency financial manager from 2000 to 2006.
He has advised numerous school districts and municipalities as to how to reduce expenses in order to balance the budget. Thank you, thank you, thank you for agreeing. And he is the author of numerous articles in trade publications about city government. If there is one person that can help us to get out of the financial problems that exist today, It is Louis Schimmel. Thank you, Louis Schimmel, for agreeing to come on.
In the 1980s, Schimmel brought the city of Ecorse out of debt as emergency manager.
Do you have trouble sleeping at night? A sleep evaluation specialist from William Beaumont Hospital spoke to Warren seniors last week at a gathering at St. Edmund's Church. The specialist talked about ways to get a better night's sleep, some basic tips. Get in the habit of using your bed for sleeping, not watching TV. Avoid caffeine and nicotine in the evening, and try to stick to a regular wake-up time to help set your biological clock.
Good turnout today. We generally have about 200 seniors. I think we have close to that today. So it was a good event. Speaker talked about sleep disorders, and it was a topic chosen by the seniors. So another good seminar, and look forward to doing more. This educates them about the senior health care topics that they want to hear about. It educates the Warren seniors about those topics, and also puts them in contact with local health care vendors. So you see there's about 22 vendors today here from around the city.
The event was sponsored by the Warren Senior Healthcare Commission and the City of Warren.
The parents of a 3-year-old boy are facing second-degree child abuse after leaving their toddler behind at a local pizzeria on March 13th. It started out as a fun-filled birthday night for a 3-year-old at the Caesarland on Hoover Road near 10 Mile. But it turned into a not-so-fun situation when the party wrapped up around 9 p.m. The manager spotted the child and couldn't find anyone to claim him. The staff then called Warren Police.
It's a pretty sad story, and very, how do you comprehend something like this for the 3-year-old? The mother, the father, nobody really cares about a 3-year-old, even though they have a birthday party.
The parents, who live in separate apartments in the same complex, each thought the other had the boy or that he could be with the grandmother. They waited almost 2 days before calling the Chuck E. Cheese-style restaurant, asking about the child.
Sunday, around noon, the mother calls the grandmother and the father, and the mother asks if they have the 3-year-old. They both indicate no. Now at this point, she still doesn't call the police department. She doesn't know where the 3-year-old's at. Monday at around 12:15, we're ready to put out a photo of the 3-year-old to try to identify the 3-year-old. The mother calls Caesarland and says, "Have you seen my child?" Now this is 36 hours later. The father goes there, same thing, asking where the child's at.
Warren Police Commissioner Bill Dwyer said this was one of the most outrageous and disturbing incidents he's seen in nearly 50 years of law enforcement.
It's pretty disgusting, quite honestly. 36 hours, almost 2 days pass. Nobody really cares about the 3-year-old. And nobody ever calls the police.
The 3-year-old boy remains in foster care. The charge is a felony punishable by up to 4 years in prison.
The Warren Historical and Genealogical Society recently celebrated the 5th anniversary of the Historical Gallery. The gallery is located at the Warren Community Center on Arden, just south of 14 Mile, west of Mound. You're seeing here just a glimpse of the many items on display at the gallery. The Historical Gallery is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, and admission is free.
Tammy Perzanowski of H&R Block joins us now with this week's tax tip. Tammy?
This is the H&R Block tax tip of the week. The first-time home buyer's credit has been extended for homes purchased by April 30th of 2010. The credit is equal to $8,000 or 10% of the purchase price, whichever is lower. This credit is not required to be repaid unless the home ceases to be a principal residence before 36 months.
Checking traffic, 14 Mile Road near the Maple Lane Golf Course. This remains closed through traffic for bridge repairs. You can take 12 or even 13 Mile roads to get around that. Also, crews are updating the traffic signals at various intersections on 12 Mile. This is from Revere Street all the way to Jefferson Avenue. You'll still be able to travel through this area, but you might encounter some minor delays as a result. The project's slated to last all summer long.
We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Megan O'Brien will be in with this week's Community Calendar.
And Adam Bullis is in with sports, so stay tuned.